coverage of the NFL has us in downtown New Orleans at the Caesars Superdome. The kicker, Chad Ryland, has this one teed up.
And we are underway from the Superdome.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Just like that, it's a gain of 12 and a first down on their first play.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
On first down, he'll drop to throw.
And that one too wide and incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on first down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who could make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
Here's 2nd and 10.
He'll look to throw.
And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. On third down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
So on 4th down, Matthew Hayball on to punt. Greg George deep for Arizona.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. First carry for James Conner.
They'll get this to the 24, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Here's 2nd and 7.
Murray now.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Now Murray. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a 1st down.
Well, he and his offense were staring down what was likely a 3-and-out. Zero fear from his side, though. Never doubted for a second they pick up the first. He's ready to pull the trigger on a keeper the moment it revealed itself.
On 1st and 10 is Conner.
And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38.
That is now 19-yard gains on back-to-back plays.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front, and the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. Again, a run with Conner. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
2nd and 5. They'll fake it to counter. Now Murray.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Murray going to throw. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Demario Davis coming in for the sack that time.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down. Deep for New Orleans is Rashid Shaheed.
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive.
Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down.
Over the middle and complete to Shaheed.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down.
Yeah, that's a nice pickup there, especially when it comes on the heels of a 3-and-out the first time you have the ball. They were determined to not have that happen again, and that's a nice throw for their first down of the game.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara.
He'll get this to about the 38.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
Here's a 2nd and 7. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. First catch of the game for Cooks. It'll be a 1st down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing. And they got it done.
From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Second and 15. Pitch and catch to Moreau, the tight end. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Good work after the catch. Gets him 15 and a 1st down.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses, catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. Back to throw now on 1st down.
There's Chris Olave.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Boy, everything clicking on this drive. He's 4 for 4 now, and that throw, maybe the best of the bunch. This offense is really humming, and they pick up another 1st down.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down.
And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's 2nd down now.
It certainly looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He gets it to Cooks.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
They'll look to throw again. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17.
Bilal Nichols in there to take him down. 1st and goal looked like things were set up nicely, and now all of a sudden on 2nd and goal, Charles, a big challenge ahead of them.
And you have to know when you're this close to the goal line, things are going to happen faster, so you've got to get the ball out quick. Not going to have much time in the pocket before the defenders bring pressure.
And they'll fake the jet sweep there and instead hand to Kamara.
And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. The holding penalty, that puts them in an unenviable spot here as they try again on 3rd and goal. He'll drop to throw. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. A very costly sack there on 3rd and goal, pushes him back big time. And now you'd figure the field goal team coming on 4th.
Here's Blake Groupie now for the Saints field goal.
They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead.
Well, both teams kind of feeling each other out here. Now after 3 drives, we have a score with that field goal.
Yeah, they're still waiting for their breakout drive to come to them, all right? They're using the playbook well. They're looking for that extra section that says touchdowns instead of field goals. But they'll take the 3 for now and try and get set up for more later.
So after the field goal, back out is Groupie to send this one away. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line.
He'll get this to about the 38.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there.
Connor going to get it again on 2nd down.
Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
Play fake. Murray. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get untracked in this one.
Here's Blake Gillikin now.
Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
The coverage was good, but I just wonder if they absolutely fooled the quarterback on that play. I think he was expecting something else, ended up with nowhere to throw the football successfully.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. They'll drop to throw.
Now that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Now there's Cooks in motion right.
They're going to look to throw.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Whether that's a little grabbing, a little hand fighting, by any means necessary on 3rd down, he was able to get the job done in the secondary and swat that one away.
Here's Matthew Hayball now,
as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well.
Here comes Dortch on the return.
And just a net of 31 here. 40-yard punt, 9 on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
We are watching a runner having a really nice game. Carrying it very well. Vision is excellent, but boy, look at the help he's getting. Offensive line, I think they're pretty eager to block for him.
Connor going to get it again on 2nd down.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40.
42 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
That was another good run, and he's having an excellent day. And right now, I don't think his team could have any more confidence in handing him the football.
They'll stay on the ground with Connor again. And he'll be taken down here as it will take us to the end of the 1st quarter.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Cardinal football here to start quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. Murray a give. This is Connor.
And not much running room. Down to the 32.
Now the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. This is Connor running right. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. 3rd and 15 coming up after that loss of 2.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. To throw is Murray. Screen pass to Connor. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the 1st down.
That's leaking to the right, and he missed it by a foot or 2. It's no good, and instead of tying it up, they'll remain down by 3. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
Well, every now and then I can speak from experience because I do know, as a defender, it is awfully hard to stay with your man on these crossing routes because even if you don't get picked, there's a danger of being picked either by one of their receivers or maybe by your own defender. And on that play, that worked quite well.
They'll get this out to Kamara. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. And 22 more yards there and another 1st down.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw here. Throw right side into the hands of Foster Moreau. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
Ball at the 14 for 2nd and 5.
Back to throw again. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. They'll set up to throw. There again is Cooks, complete. A gain of 7 that time, 2nd and goal. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
The slot man in motion right. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Alvin Kamara taking it in from 11 yards out as his guys are able to extend their lead.
You get in a 2nd and long situation down here in the red zone. I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass. Let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground. And he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
Groupie able to add the PAT.
And the lead grows to 10-0.
After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field.
Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint. Down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing now is Murray.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee you he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
2nd and 10.
Murray now.
A short one here, caught by McBride.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
A gain there of 21 yards.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
Here's Murray. Gonna look deep for Wilson. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
Now a 2nd and 10. Again, they'll throw with Murray. A short one here, caught by McBride.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now Murray. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
Calais Campbell finding his way home for the sack. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
He'll get this one underneath to Kamara.
And he's able to get up here to the 26.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
3rd and 4.
He'll look to throw.
That is caught.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
They go play action here on 1st down.
He gets this complete to Shaheed.
And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
Giving back-to-back catches now. That one for 16 and another first down.
And now at this point in the first half, you've got to realize as an offense, you're not going to get it all back in one fell swoop. This is going to be about sustained drives and making sure you finish with points. And that's a good throw there for a first down.
Open man left side. Shaheed has it. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
That's the third time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage as shown by that last play.
Kamara up the middle. A tough run, but not a huge gain. Dropped at the 25. Calais Campbell on the stop.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
From the 25, here's 2nd and 9. Looking to throw. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
We've already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. That is caught by Olave. Touchdown, New Orleans. 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Saints are able to stretch out their lead. Well, on that connection, it looked like they maybe had some pre-play communication. Maybe one of them noticed an area that was open to the defense to get the pass to.
When you put the time in, sometimes you have that great silent communication that you just noticed right there, because the best quarterback-receiver combos in the NFL, they know how to make those adjustments at the line of scrimmage when they see something pre-play, and they got it done there.
After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Cardinal offense takes back over. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy. As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Snap comes to Murray at 1. He completes it to Wilson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. But let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
From the gun, Murray. Catch made right side by Wilson. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. from the gun on third down. Murray. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 39. A little surprise pays off on 3rd and 1. Pass instead of run. Gets him 15 yards.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. Now Murray again.
And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 15-yard line. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Murray going to throw.
That's complete right around the 8. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
Here's Murray as he sets to throw it.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line.
The improvisation gets him only a couple, but that's all he needed. First down.
As he came to the line of scrimmage, he knew he didn't need much to reset the chain, so when he saw the space he needed, no hesitation. He went to the marker and got his guys a first down.
This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals.
Michael Wilson
In the final seconds of the first half.
And the Cardinals are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played. So just 8 ticks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
And the Saints going to go on offense one final time in this first half. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. In motion left here, one of their tight ends.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run.
First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
A 10-point game, 17-7 the score as we get back to it on EA Sports. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Cardinals ready to go here to start the third quarter. And they're on the short end of the scoreboard here. Charles, what adjustments, if any, do you think they need to make for the second half?
We're paraphrasing the gold medal hockey winning coach Herb Brooks. I just say you continue to play your game. Throw the ball. They had success doing it in the first half, so make sure you keep getting the ball to your playmakers, a little bit more to the perimeter perhaps, but above all, play your game.
Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is second down.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on third down, and you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. Murray now to throw. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Here's Murray.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Well, if they have any designs on getting back into this football game in the second half, they're going to need to be much sharper offensively than they were on this opening possession. Not much happening here, and it'll lead to a fourth down.
Here comes the Cardinals punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
They begin on the ground with Kamara.
He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4. 2nd down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
2nd and 6. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And he will go out of bounds down at the 15-yard line.
A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
2nd and 2. First down marker at the 5-yard line.
They'll set up a throw. Got a man. It's Cooks. Touchdown, New Orleans. A 7-yard touchdown grab.
And the Saints are able to add on to that lead.
And that's a drive that makes everyone happy on that bench because they accomplish exactly what they set out to do. Take care of the football, eat up a little clock, end up in the end zone. Now they've got a cushion for the rest of the game. So they didn't just help themselves offensively, they helped their defense out as well.
The point after, good by Groupie.
And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17.
After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
The Cardinal offense here ready to take over.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, It has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. Ball on the 30 now. Here's a 2nd and 7. They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. To throw is Murray. He'll find his rookie wideout from Ohio State here. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 15 yards that time, and the Cardinals move the chains.
And you start to think if it's going to happen for these guys, it's got to start with this drive. Down 3 scores, they need to start making some inroads. And that'll help the cause there as they pick up good yardage and a 1st down.
From the gun, a give to Connor. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. 60 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
2nd down and 3. Play action. Now it's Murray. There's a short one caught by Ryman. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
They'll try the left side with Connor. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. To throw, it's Murray. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing now is Murray. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Here's Chad Ryland now on for the field goal. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good, and that will close the gap down to 14. So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the 3rd quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that, because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send the message that says, hey, we're not going away.
Ryland now following the touchdown, back out to kick it away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The New Orleans offense set to take over. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw here. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish.
He's got a man complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Call that a gain of 38. A big march forward on the 3rd down conversion.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on 1st down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
From the 28, it's 2nd and 5. They'll look to throw. To the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. Now, they tried to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be 3rd down.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. They'll drop to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a 1st down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball.
And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Foster Moreau, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Saints take a 3-touchdown lead.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
Yeah, 3 touchdown passes. You're right. He looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Murray. To Connor on the check down. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it's 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Murray now. And this will be swung out here for Connor. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Now Murray. A short one here, caught by McBride.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49.
A gain of 10, first down, Arizona.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Out of the shotgun, they'll run with Connor. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. Call that a gain of 5 as the clock ticks inside of 2 minutes to go now in the third.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Wilson's got it on the crossing route.
And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 32-yard line. 14 yards that time for number 14. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They run behind center with Connor. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
83 yards rushing now for Connor and a first down.
That run's successful in large part because they had a lot of extra help blocking up front.
Yeah, you've got guys who can do that very, very well. In addition, they can catch the football. So sometimes when they line up with 3 tight ends, it's not necessarily to run it, and that gives you an advantage when you do decide to barrel off the line of scrimmage and block people downfield.
And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
Again, it's Connor. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Murray.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30.
Brian Brzee fought in and got him down.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
Shouting through the defense, and he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Cardinals unable to convert there on 4th down. And this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
From the 21, here's 2nd down and 7.
Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy,
but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Saints first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches.
Now that's a big pickup right there, and so often we focus on how the quarterback's faking on play action. How about everyone being in on the deal and picking it up?
Second, third levels, you could see them trying to recover. They bit. Worked out offensively. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara.
And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him. He ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
On play action, they'll throw.
That is caught.
And he will go out right near the 35-yard line.
Give him 22 there on the 3rd. And now some disagreement down on that sideline. The red flag is out, and we're going to get a challenge. And Shaheed going to go in motion.
A man who's been busy this afternoon. It's Kamara again. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now.
From the 29, here's a 2nd and 5.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw.
There's a short one caught by Johnson.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Juwan Johnson.
29 yards.
And the Saints have opened up a 4-touchdown lead here in the 4th. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field.
They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger. Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunted. They actually accomplished their goal there. Now they've got them aware that they can throw a screen at them, maybe to slow the pass rush down a little bit, and they can throw it downfield.
Here's Murray. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Murray fighting, lost the football. But it looks like one of the DBs has it.
And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable fourth quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery. Brought down by Jalen Thompson.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape. So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Here comes the Saints punter now as he's on to kick it away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now.
Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest.
Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Caught. It's Wilson. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Looking to throw. Murray.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Murray to air it out again. That's complete to McBride. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
63 yards receiving for him now, and that last catch good enough for a 1st down.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Here's Murray as he sets to throw it.
Over the middle, he'll get it to Harrison. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Murray going to throw. A short one here, caught by McBride.
And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints 35. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a 1st down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline. because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
On 1st and 10 is Connor. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the past. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on 1st down quickly negated.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. Murray now to throw. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Able to find the open man. That's complete. Touchdown, Cardinals.
Zay Jones,
28 yards.
and the Cardinals get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the 4th quarter after that one, CD. And, well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, and I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence, because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. The risk reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling. And whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Offensive line really didn't give him any room to maneuver on that play.
Things closed pretty quickly, didn't they? And how about the wrap-up at the end of that tackle? Left no doubt there would be no additional yardage to be found.
So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty.
And now after the delay of game, they're operating behind the sticks, 2nd and 15. Following the penalty, it's Kamara. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Nothing there, no gain, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 15.
I think what we just saw their partner was linebacking speed that can trump O-line power. We see that at times because he filled the gap before the offensive lineman could get to the next level and take him on.
And that flag accepted. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. They run it again with Kamara. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
So this one a victory here for New Orleans. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Saints are winners here as we say so long.